either of which, not everything. Now these things could be taken ideally in the morning breakfast. Take 2 almond milk, take it. I'm insisting on boiling because nowadays these things have lots of pesticides you sprayed over them. At least by boiling, the certain chemicals will be thrown out. And dates and figs should be boiled. Sometimes there is some infection, like some worms and germs, they are there. Better be boiled and taken. Fruits and dry fruits are most natural sweets.
विसुर का नहीं 5 का 6 में ज्यादा रानी है सबसे ज्यादा रानी से नहीं है देवी कमी है सबसे ज्यादा मम्मी के नहीं है
Where's the sign?
Computer madam. These are what you do. They want to take notes.
What? I told.
This is very old. It's a chicken and eggs.
No, I've already Special instructions.
Yes, special. Everything. No, nothing is right. Everything.
Khichdi and milk, or like just vegetables, or just
I went to very bigger area to India. Yeah, so we used to go to his, I told him to come there. He told me, Friday come there. Very lucky, I can come to first and then I put the next time. So then I didn't come with time for dinner earlier. So I had planned to do it in Savannah today. So by the enough people I mean there are people over there and the other people were traveling and I was going to only 2 people who were better at times. Because the crowd was very thin that time. Only 2 people were there. I went to Shahrukh and then we were so we made happily for what? Just try to get good.
Everybody to take their seats, and please, I would request you everybody to put off their mobile phones lest it disturbs us. Okay. I, on behalf of Health Library, welcome you all to this talk on the natural way of healthy food and living, to be followed by an interactive session. HELP Health stands for Health Education Library for People. Our library, which is free for all, is presently located at the End Road, Fort, Mumbai, opposite the Handloom House, and has a collection of nearly 8,000 easy-to-read health books, 10,000 informative pamphlets, 3,000 magazines, many newsletters, and about 500 videos and CD-ROMs to facilitate easy access to information on any health-related topics to each and all this at no cost to the person using these facilities. These reference materials have topics ranging from allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, naturopathy, yoga, alternative medicine, Reiki, and many more. Dr. Aniruddha Malpani and Dr. Anjali Malpani, the husband-wife duo, and the famous infertility specialists of our country, are the promoters and the brain behind our library head. They have been very kind to be with us here today. In our endeavor to disseminate information on health-related topics, we regularly hold talks, and such talks are well attended by a number of health enthusiasts. We take the pleasure today to invite Mr. M.H. Dalmia to speak on the natural way of healthy food and living. Mr. Dalmia, himself a chemical engineer and a well-known industrialist of our country, a dynamic head honcho of Odisha Cement Limited, and owning several industries in the cement, refractory, real estate, software, and other sectors, is an active follower of naturopathy. He has followed the principles of natural way of living since 1967. And please note, he has not taken any medicines since 1967 till date in these last 40 years. Mr. Dalmia has missed work due to illness, cold and cough in these last 40 years since 1967 till date. Mr. Dalmia's example proves that the effects of naturopathy are really remarkable, and that too without causing any side effects. We would now request Mr. Dalmia to share his views, thoughts and experiences for the benefit of us all, and tell us how we all can enjoy an as healthy life as he has. Mr. Dalmia.
As Sandeep mentioned, I am not a doctor, nor am I a professional speaker. So please bear with me if you find certain things which are not what you must have experienced when you hear somebody who is professionally doing such things. I would only like to share with you my own experiences and what I have learned during my interaction with doctors. When I say doctors, I only mean naturopath doctors. Fortunately or unfortunately, my interaction with allopathic doctors has been nil. So therefore I do not have much experience about their way of thinking and so on. I would only like to highlight, please bear in mind what I am going to share with you is not what I practice 100%. Just to highlight again that it is not necessary to deprive yourself of all the worldly pleasures to lead a disease-free life. When you are driving a car, your intention is to drive straight, north, east, whatever direction. But it never goes straight. It goes a little left, it goes a little right, it goes a little left. You are always correcting its course. If we take care of our body and if we respond to the signals that the body gives you, it is possible to lead a disease-free life. Sandeep mentioned that I have been practicing this since 1967. That is not totally true. Till 1976, 77, whatever that period, I was as indulgent as anybody else. That means to the age of 35, 36, 37. When I came in contact with naturopaths and that appealed to me, and gradually I changed my way of life, food and everything else. By the time I was about 40, 42, there has been a substantial change. And since then there have been many, many more changes, but substantial changes have taken place by the age of 40. Again, when somebody is young, the body organs, body chemistry, body in every way very strong. It can take a lot of abuse. But as one tends to reach 40 plus, then the capacity to take that abuse goes down. And therefore, it is important, necessary to change before it is too late. More important is for mothers to inculcate the right habits among the children. Because once those bad habits tend to become a part of your life, then it's not so easy to change later on. And one says, if I have lived with all this indulgence, etc. for so many years, nothing is going to happen now. That is not necessarily true. Modern medicine is very useful. When I say modern medicine, basically let's say allopathy. But it's for emergency, it is for accidents. I don't think there is something which can really be compared for emergency, etc. or accident with the modern science. तो कबीर का या रहीम का एक दोहा है ना, जहां काम आवे सुई कहा करे तरवारी. Am I clear on that? जो काम सुई से करना वो तलवार से नहीं हो सकता. So allopathy is like that. For everyday living we don't need allopathy. One more thing that we need to remember, although all medical sciences work on averages, but there are certain limitations to average. Every individual body is different, and that we have to remember and be alive to the signals that our body gives and react accordingly. I always mention, remember the sad story of a man who drowned himself in a pond average 3 kg. So the law of averages is okay to understand a lot of things, but its limitations must be understood. We must also understand that disease-free body is not the show body, not the body of a gym, not the body of the actors on the screen. You get a disease-free body if your body has immunity. What are the causes of disease? Inheritance, and then just way of life. One doctor went to the extent of saying even inheritance, unless the way of life is also in a way inheritance. Whatever mother, father practice, children inherit, and then the same thing goes on and on. So way of life is also up to a point inheritance. So what Sometimes we tend to say, "No, this is inheritance, nothing can be done about it." May not be totally true. Unfortunately, we do not respond to the signals that the body gives. We don't even recognize them. If we fall sick, it is already too late. We have to respond to that before there is any need to take any medicine whatsoever. Toxin elimination is a fundamental cause for one to fall sick. We allow toxins to accumulate beyond the tolerance limit, and then immunity goes down and everything else follows. But when we do fall sick, we take medicines. Rather than taking out the root cause of it, we try to suppress it. Rather than eradicating it, we try to suppress it. Which means the cause always remains. If it is not in this form, it is going to react in some other form and going to cause you some other disease. I had come in touch with one Dr. Swaminathan. He was an extremely strict naturopath. No tolerance whatsoever. And he could claim, give me a glass full of all kinds of bacteria, cholera, TB, this, that, whatever you like. I can drink it and I can guarantee nothing will happen to me. What was his source of confidence? Can any allopathic doctor claim this? At least I have not come across. My interaction has been limited, but I have not come across any doctor talking like that. Why that? Can any doctor claim that I have not had any disease or not taken medicine for 10 years? I would like to also ask the audience, is there anybody who can say I have not fallen sick and not taken any medicine for 10 years? Please raise your hands. Don't tell me there is nobody like that in the whole audience. Really? Amrava, you must have been one of those. Please raise your hand if that is so. Gayatri? Nobody. That's disappointing. Now, immunity is affected by lifestyle. There was an article in Reader's Digest. I am a fan of Reader's Digest. I will be making more references to Reader's Digest. I have been reading it also for 40 years. There was an article in Reader's Digest, 2 clean homes are bad for children. I forgot to mention one in Reader's Digest. Few years ago, there was a test in Reader's Digest based on certain parameters to determine your body's age. And since I was curious, I found out what my body's age was. It was 40 years. Those tests included your rate of heartbeat, your rate of breathing, your blood pressure, your pulse, and one of the interesting tests, part of the test was how long you can stand on one foot. I don't know what was the criteria, that's where I failed. I was talking about article related that 2 clean homes are bad for children because they do not develop the immunity. The village children, they play in unhygienic, relatively unhygienic conditions, in the muddy and this and that, and they don't fall sick. American children, Western children, when they come here, they drink a glass of water in India, they will fall sick. Our children don't fall sick. Today they say allergy. Now, naturopaths don't believe in allergy. Today, allergy has developed to such an extent that children have allergy against peanuts. And there have been reports that by eating peanuts, children have died. I don't know what exactly it is, but this is something difficult to understand, whether it can go to this extent. Body has immense capacity to rejuvenate. I'll be talking about it a little later also how. Provided we cooperate with it and and even if you don't cooperate, at least don't interfere. I would like Amlabai to narrate some story what is the capacity of body to rejuvenate. Her husband is Ashok, he has some heart problems and has angioplasty like many of us today. But how the way of life, natural way of life, food, exercise, etc. has helped Amlabai, please.
In my experience that with regular exercise, the body the heart tends to make collaterals. That means it develops veins and arteries where the blockages have occurred. So instead of the blood flow stopping where the blockages have occurred, what happens is that naturally the body creates different routes to provide blood to all those areas. So, and this happens because of regular exercise and by stimulating the heart enough. That means you must get a little out of breath and you must exercise for sustained physical effort for about 40 to 50 minutes, like a brisk walk or something, during which the heart gets a chance to pump enough and create new collaterals so that the same